Hi everyone. So I've had a couple of requests to follow up on my initial video with some of my impressions after having the slide for a little while and what I've experienced personally. So just really briefly, I have put about 100 rounds through this. It's not a lot. Just haven't had the time to really do it, but I'll give you a rundown on what I've seen so far. Some of the things that I have changed when since obviously putting it together was I did add a red dot, and I did change the barrel now a couple of times. No particular reason why, it's just for vanity. But to be honest, when I put everything together, I just wanted something that to show off the cutouts a little bit more. So I went originally went with this. This really has that 100 rounds put through it. I don't remember exactly where I picked this barrel up, aftermarket somewhere, but I don't recall. As you'll see, you have some stack on issues here. Not really any fault of the slide. It's really more of the finish on this particular barrel. You'll see there's some wear on both the top and the sides. Nothing major, but when I was shooting it did go through what some people might consider a break-in period. The issues that I faced specifically were failure to go into battery, failure to, to the easiest way to really say is a slide release. You would have to, as opposed to using the slide release lever, you would have to rack the slide, and then occasionally you'd need to do a follow-up to push it home. It wasn't wanting to go in easily with that probably first 20 rounds or so. And I was really having to struggle with it to make it do what I wanted to do. I didn't have any ejection issues. I didn't have any extraction issues. Nothing that took the gun out of service. I really just had to kind of work with it. I would say probably by the time I got to about 50 rounds, I wasn't having to mess with it as much, and maybe an occasional tap home. But other than that, it was functioning just fine with 10 round magazines. I'm using the mag pools. I don't have any OEMs right now. And there were no issues there. And as it did free up and some of the tolerances begin to work themselves out, I was able to do both, anything I really wanted, any manipulation with the firearm, and it would seem to be just fine. I didn't have any real consistent issues at the end of that 100 rounds, and it seemed to work almost everything else out. A couple of things that I did change on this, though, and again, this was all done preemptively. I didn't shoot it and have issues, so I can't speak to what came out of the parts kit. I did change the guide rod. Couple of reasons. I just wasn't really comfortable with the polymer one. I know that's just me, but a guide rod, especially an adjustable one where you can change the spring weights, just seems like a pretty inexpensive way to really tweak your gun, and it's just nothing that's really going to set you back. So one thing of note that I didn't do in the last video is remove the cover. It does not have lugs. That being said, this is a 407C on here, and the tolerances are just fine. I found it works just fine. I didn't have any issues mounting or any play in it whatsoever. Nothing, and even after that 100 rounds or so, I didn't need to tighten anything back down. So that's something to note. Didn't see any weird wear inside of the slide. Everything seems to just be breaking in as it goes. This is a new barrel I just added. I haven't tried this one out yet, but everything so far feels pretty smooth. Haven't felt anything. And so far, that's been my experience with it. I know some other folks have had some little issues, and I would love to continue to hear what they've had and done to fix them. I'll put more rounds through it. If I find that there's any other issues, I will be sure to let you know. Thank you so much.